Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Mandy and we're going to make a Rezinarte swirl tumbler. I have a special request. Sorry, my dog made noise and it startled me. So I'm going to use Aruba Sky from Rezinarte, which is by Colourarte. This particular one has really large particulates and I find that it sometimes needs to be wet down with a tiny bit of alcohol first just to help those dissolve better. So if you ever have a Rezinarte pigment, look at that. It's so gorgeous that the particulates don't seem to be like melting into your resin. That's a good way to fix it. Just know that you kind of need to let it sit for a little bit so some of that alcohol evaporates because it will make the resin thinner. So anyway, this is going to be kind of a green swirl. This is being made for someone who they're training and they have this running joke that they eat a lot of pickles when they train because pickles have salt, obviously. So she wanted me to make a green tumbler because a lot of people apparently buy this person green things because of the pickle thing. Anyway, I'm over explaining, but that's Oyster Interference from Colourarte. It's like a beautiful pearl color. So there it is. So my thought was she likes a bright kind of fluorescent green. So I'm going to use Green Apple from Rezinarte, but I wanted to have a little pop of a dark color green for some contrast and because pickles are darker. And so that's why I included Aruba Sky. And so then this is the Green Apple from Rezinarte, by the way. Super pretty. And there we go. Beautiful color. And then I'm going to use Interference Gold and Green Diamonds. Green Diamonds is like an interference green with really large flakes, so they're very sparkly. And then, of course, that was Interference Gold. I'm also using Interference Green. So I'm using Faux Rizzle Nouveau because I have some that I've had for over a year and it needs to be used. So I'm starting off with the Green Diamonds, I think. Or maybe that was Interference Green. And then the Aruba Sky, make sure you can see it's a little bit thinner because I had used a little bit of alcohol in it. So I'm drizzling it very lightly on the bottom to let it thicken up a little bit. All right, and I'm trying to keep those lines kind of thin, especially because the particulate in the Aruba Sky is thicker, so I want to keep those lines thinner so that, it doesn't sink. So anyway, this is a 30-ounce tumbler. It's a hog tumbler. I'm pretty sure that what I'm putting on now is Interference Green from Colourarte. By the way, there is a 20% discount for anything Colourarte in the description box below. It's using Mandy1120. And that's for everything, not just the Rezinarte. So this is the Green Apple. So this is going to be our bright green. I did speed this up a little bit just because it can be kind of boring if you're not doing it. My cup turner, I have these little cup turner inserts in there, and for some reason, for the life of me, I can't get this thing to turn straight, but that's okay. So now we're just coming back around with the Aruba Sky. And this is a relatively, Faux Rizzle Nouveau is a relatively thick resin, which is kind of helpful when you're doing something like this because your colors don't overly blend with a thicker resin. Like I love Stone Coat, But Stone Coat's viscosity is a little bit thinner, so if I do it on a tumbler like this, then ideally I let it set up a little bit before I use it. I think what I'm sprinkling now is Interference Gold from Colourarte. And I know right now it looks like a hot mess, but as it turns, it's going to begin to kind of marble and get really pretty. So yeah. So like I said, I was using the Faux Resin Nouveau because I've had those bottles for over a year, and resin usually has like a 12-month shelf life. So it was one of those things where the gallon has just a little bit of resin left and I need to finish it up so I can make room on my shelf. So I was like, you know, when I've been working on geodes and stuff like that, I've been trying to do use that kind of stuff for my glitter lines and that kind of stuff when I'm just so I can use it up. Now, one thing that is kind of challenging is as these turn, the slight curve on that cup makes the edges a little bit more likely to not get fully covered. But since there's kind of a white color in the theme of the cup, it's not too big of a deal, but you'll notice I keep revisiting the top and the very bottom of the cup. So now you can see after it's been spinning for a little while, you're starting to see that swirling movement. These colors actually look really great together. I mean, I probably wouldn't pick a green swirl, but if I did, this would be kind of the color combo. And I like how the green apple is bright, but because we used it kind of sparingly, it just adds a little pop of color. And you know, the Aruba sky has a little bit of a bluish tint to it, so it's not completely all deep dark green. Colourarte does have a color called Brazilian green that is it's kind of that deep shade of green without any blue. So I like kind of the bluish green, almost like a phthalo green that has a little bit of blue in it. So I'm just flinging stuff on here. It looks funny from this angle. You don't see it the same when you're doing it. You don't see like you're flinging it and it's swinging back at you. But yeah, what I love about Rezinarte pigments is they make really beautiful, like swirly, you know, this will look like almost like it has glitter underneath it, and it doesn't, because we have all of those different particulate sizes in the various colors. You know, the Aruba sky and the green diamonds are both going to have those big chunky sparkles, and then the others won't, which is great. So you have a good balance between them. So now I'm just using basically what I have left over to fill in any places that are too naked or too saturated by one color. Basically just trying to use up what I have left to make sure the cup gets fully covered. You can, like if something goes wrong, you can go back in and do another layer and just not fully cover the cup. So I've had situations before where, you know, I was working like on a blue and teal swirl, and I used a color that had kind of a violet blue, and it took over, and I went back over it and I just drizzled some of the colors that I wanted. So you can do that with resin. That's one of the great things about resin. Like I just started a geode yesterday and I think it looks weird. So I think I'm probably just going to redo my layers, you know. That's one of the great things about resin. So as you can see, when I hit it with heat, it's starting to swirl quite a bit. You want to be careful not to overdo it, obviously. One thing that I found particularly annoying is I went to go move it, because this is on my kitchen island. I went to go move it so it could spin overnight and dry, and it wasn't ready. So it started spinning the other way. So here's a close-up. You can see how beautiful the colors are up close, like just really remarkable. And as it continued to spin, I tilted it once or twice to kind of shift some of the colors up, but it really dried beautifully. So hopefully the intended result is there. I sent it to my friend who ordered it and she seemed to like it. So thanks for joining in with me. I might as well record it if I'm going to do it, right? So I'll decal it and put a Flood coat on it and it'll be all good. So thanks for watching. Don't forget about the description box below. Have a great day. Bye.